J.A.s Morales. Sir, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Officers were dispatched to an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance. The complainant exited his apartment after receiving a call from his wife that an unknown male was blocking her vehicle in. Once the complainant got downstairs, he was assaulted by approximately 5 to 8 males that lived in the same apartment complex. The complainant told officers the defendant struck him several times with a closed fist, causing bleeding from his mouth, a knot on his head, and causing pain. The co-defendant was charged with aggravated assault, and I have a cause number for that, Judge.
Yeah, what is it?
1891797.
So you said 5 to 6 males came and attacked this person?
It was like 5 to 8 males.
5 to 8. Did anyone else get charged with assault?
I think it was only this one, Judge, the one that I just gave you.
How just one? Is it just because he knew this person? Is that the only reason, perhaps? And why is the other one aggravated?
He hit with a pole.
Do we know hospital, extent of injuries? How bad are we talking?
It looks like they are requesting medical records from a hospital, so it seems like the complainant was transported. And I believe EMS also responded to the scene because I'm seeing a request for medical records.
Okay, now my next question, do you have the RIP done? Do we know if the complaining witness is still living at this location? Because if so, I'm going to bar him from going back.
We tried to get in touch with him, but she's a Spanish speaker. So it may.
Right.
But I can try to get that done.
Okay, Mr. J.A.s Morales, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
19.
What do you do for a living? Why not?
¿Por qué no?
Porque tengo lesionada la mano.
I have an injured hand.
Oh,
Okay.
Un disparo aquí, tengo un inmóvil. La muñeca.
I can't move my wrist and my. ¿Qué tenía?
Un disparo, tengo un
I
inmóvil.
was shot in my arm.
are you a United States citizen?
Ciudadano estadounidense. No.
Are you in this country with
Está en el país con
permission?
sin permiso. With permission.
Con migración.
Through immigration.
What type of permission do you have?
I don't know, but it's through immigration.
Let me put you on notice now, Mr. J.A.s Morales, that if you go to jail and there's any problem with your paperwork, which there very well could be because you have no idea what's going on with your immigration. If there's any kind of issues with your immigration and you go to jail and immigration finds you there, they will put an immigration detainer and you will be stuck in there until this case is over with. And then they're going to ship you off to immigration and you'll sit in custody for the next 6 to 9 months waiting for all that to happen. So if you do not want that to happen, do not violate the conditions I put on you now. If I find that you're a danger to my public, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you're doing. But if you're a danger to my Houston, I have only one place for you. Do you understand? I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, you're going to test for. You're to come right back. If you fail to test, if you fail to go, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand? All right, take a seat for me. Okay, Judge. Hey,
How are you?
try it, man.
Happy Friday for real. Jesus Macias, Your Honor, this was the one that was up here a little earlier.
Is it, you said?
Macias, he's the one that picked up, I just got to point it on the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
The two new assaults.
2 new assaults.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I talked to Mr. Macias for a while, and he was going to share with you a few things that would kind of help give some more context in the case. On his 2 law violations, there was a real call that was made to the complainant, and the complainant basically said kind of what verbatim what Mr. Macias told me, that he was actually attacked by her family. He called 911. When he called 911, she became very upset, made up the story of the assault, never saw the brother be assaulted. So you have, on the 2 new assaults, you have brother on one, and then you have wife on the other. So she basically recants and says that the assault on her never happened, and she says that she doesn't witness anything as far as with the brother. Okay, those are the 2 new law violations. She also makes a reference to the first assault, which he's currently in the court as well, and said that that was made up as well. Now we have people that recant all the time, but it would be.
I mean, I'm not going to take his word for it just because it's right.
Well, no, of course, Judge, but it should be noted as far as on this recantment as well, that she actually asked the state, does she need representation for the false report? So that's a little bit different. That's usually, you don't usually have it to where people are concerned about getting representation for making a false report. That's usually a little bit extreme, so to speak. She's actually asking for it to be dismissed.
He's on bond for an assault against this person, picks up another assault, right? And then another assault against another person. I'm putting an order for protection in, and I don't want you to have contact with this person. I'm still going to take you in. I mean, I have something that's said here. People recant all the time after the fact because for whatever reason, but I have something here. I think that there's enough evidence to go forward. And I think that I believe that probable cause did occur. I'm not going to take your word as gospel. I don't know. Maybe the facts will show something different later on, but the evidence is going to point to whose side is correct. I don't know. Perhaps there'll be photographs. Perhaps there'll be body cam footage of what a person looked like. I don't know. But this is stuff that we got to wait for to see what happens. But
we're also approaching on bail, being that we do have a recantment, and the recantment was pretty quick. And the complainant is also asking for a dismissal. We're going to ask for a PR bond on. This is the thing. I would definitely argue that there's going to be. I mean, at the very least, then, if that's the case, then I would like a speedy trial, because if we're gonna,
yes, and I'd be happy to give that to you.
I would rather do that.
And I absolutely love your tenacity.
Oh, I want it. I
love your tenacity, but on the PR bond,
understandable. Well, we know that you wanted to set a bond, Judge. So
I did. I set it at 15,002 because I want you to understand that we mean business, and my utmost important is public safety, and that's the only thing that matters to me. Do you understand? And if I find that you have contact with this person, and I don't care what is going on, so help me. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor. Judge, that was 15,002 on the old case.
Yeah.
And on the new cases, those are going to stay at
Leave it as
1,000.
is. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to touch it what the magistrate did, but I'm just going to revoke the old one because he picked up the 2 new cases. I'll leave as is. Within my right to revoke it and raise it and make it higher, because I think that you're an utter danger to public, right? I'm not going to, but understand that we can. And if I find that you violate any of these conditions, I will go nuts on the bond. Do you understand?
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay. We've given you a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with him. When you get out, you will have an ankle monitor, so I know where you are at all times. You're not to go within 200 feet of where she lives, or where he lives, or where they work. You understand?
I understand.
We will see where it pings at all times. So if you go anywhere near these people, get ready. I will give you the speedy trial. I need to give them at least enough time to get their evidence, to get their motions and subpoenas in line, which is at least 30 days.
And
after that,
I don't press the state. I've worked for the state before, so I can be amenable to a time that works for them. I just want to be fair to him as well.
I mean, it would be probably in January, but whatever date then, we're gold, whatever you want. Yeah, of course. All right, thanks. You Basilio Montanes. You are charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 3rd of 2024, officers were dispatched in reference to a subject who struck the complainant's vehicle and failed to stop and give information. The complainant had followed the defendant to the area of Green Meadow and Alice Road, where they waited for officers to arrive. Upon contact with the defendant advised officer that he struck a vehicle and said he did not stop. Officer observed fresh damage to the left front bumper of defendant's motor vehicle and to the left side of the complainant's vehicle. The complainant was positively ID'd the defendant and advised officer that as they were stationary at a red light, the defendant turned right and struck him. The amount in damages to complainant's vehicle was in excess of $200.
Okay. Mr. Montanes, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Yes,
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Era la troca del patrón.
it was my boss truck.
No. I'm asking you if you have liability insurance in your name.
Estoy en la aseguranza del patrón también.
I am under the insurance of. my
I want to
boss.
know for sure before you leave here, before we allow you to drive. Unless I see your name on a policy, I'm going to order you not to drive as a condition of your bond. I want to make sure that everyone in Harris County is protected in the event that you get into an accident. That requires you to have, anytime you're driving, you must have a Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? What do you do for a living, sir?
Trabajo de landscaping y de stain, seal,
I work in landscaping.
and
Sheetrock?
stain,
Stain.
seal, and many things.
How much money do you make a month?
¿Cuánto dinero gana al mes?
Al mes gano como unos de 900 a 1000 por semana.
It's like 900 to 1,000 a week.
Now, over 4,000 a month.
Como $4,000.
Sí.
Yes,
You will need to hire your own lawyer, sir.
I don't have
We're
a.
going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I will first have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we will have you take a seat, okay? When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. We will have you sign bond conditions that you're not allowed to drive without liability insurance. If you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get more PR bonds. Do you understand? Okay, please. Can you file that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Drake, you're charged with interference to the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
Officers were dispatched to a residential area in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance call. While officer was attempting to take a statement from the witness, the defendant's ex-boyfriend, the defendant continuously interrupted the investigation, preventing the officer from taking the statement. The defendant then threw a TV stand at the officer, hitting him in the leg but not causing pain. Officers then attempted to detain defendant, and while handcuffing her, the defendant actively resisted by pulling her arms away. And she does have a pretty lengthy criminal history, Judge.
You're lucky you're not charged with assault on a peace officer facing up to 10 years in prison.
Murdered my ex-boyfriend.
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm not putting any conditions on you. Just be careful, man. You know, when you get into a pissing match with people with the authority of arrest, who wins? Right. Do you have an income? What do you do for a living, man?
I'm not working right now.
Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer? Okay, we'll do that for you. Do you mind giving an application? I need you to fill an application for me, and then we'll have you talk to someone here momentarily. Okay, please. Your case is 1,076 days old. We have given you PR bond after PR bond. Doesn't work like that, Mr. Romero. We don't play catch and release anymore. You have a lawyer today. Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Okay, I just got appointed to Mr. Romero Javier. It's a hyphenated name. Super old case. I believe you put him in the
Yeah, because
back.
he's like, thinks it's the club.
Yeah, I spoke with him. It sounds like he got a reset initially to hire a lawyer, and then some of his family got in a car wreck or something. And he took care of them, and then he thought he was screwed, so he just didn't come to court. I know, that's what he told me.
He's just like telling me I have a bunch of hair.
So he
It's literally had, I mean, hold on a second. I remember seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resets he had. I don't even know how you could possibly get that many resets, you know, especially without a lawyer. That's just, regardless. What do you guys want to do?
So apparently the state has videos in their possession. They just need to find them. I guess.
Well, we located them. They were in our K drive. The misdemeanor discovery team will send it over to defense because there was no defense counsel attached, so they couldn't send it before. So defense should have it soon. And everything that we do have, like the offense report, that's all been released and the red.
Do you have an offer on the case?
Yeah, we don't have an offer, Judge, yet. but
Romero
that's-
Javier. If you can put one on, please, and then, do you know if he has a license? Can you bring out Ramon Javier, please? Do you mind running his license? See if he has one, please. Felicia. Felicia,
Yes, Judge?
I'm putting a GPS on him.
What's the last name?
Bottom of page 16 and top of page 17. If you can waive the fee as well, please.
We're offering a 1-year deferred, Judge.
So Romero Javier, do you have a Texas driver license? You're not allowed to drive. I don't care what you're doing what you've got going on in your life. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what kind of medical emergency there is. If you ain't got a license and liability insurance, do not drive. I'm now going to put a GPS monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. You will get it today. If you fail to get the monitor, you ever fail to come back, I'm going to make your bond so high your hair is going to look like mine. Do you understand? What other criminal history does he have? If any?
Only one from 2009, just a disorderly conduct at a state.
Felony or misdemeanor?
Probation. Misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor, Judge.
I'm giving you 2 weeks to figure out what you're going to do with this case. You will be back in 2 weeks. You must either accept a plea bargain offer from the state or you will immediately get set for trial. Do you understand? If you fail to communicate with your lawyer, likewise, I will revoke your bond. You will never, okay, let me not say never, but you will be very hard pressed to get another PR bond. You've been given 2 PR bonds. Your case is nearly 1,100 days old. 2 weeks to figure out what you're going to do. And if you fail to get the GPS monitor today, watch out. Do you understand? Above all else, in this short life we have, do not drive. Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Judge, did you want to return the GPS or exclusion zone?
No, just want to know where you are. Good morning, Mr. Barrett.
Hey, how you doing?
Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. You understand? Okay.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. The complainant, the defendant's sister-in-law, told officers that the defendant and his wife, the witness, got into an argument. When the complainant tried to intervene, the defendant threw a coffee mug at her, which hit and cut the complainant's hand, causing pain. The defendant told officers that he threw the cup against the wall of the kitchen and caused it to shatter, but that he did not hit complainant with the cup. Officers observed the cut on the complainant's hand.
Did she say that he threw it at her? Is that what you said?
So yes, Judge, she said that the defendant told officers, yes, so she said that he threw it at her.
Got it. Okay. All right. Mr. Barrett, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you, does she want to have contact with him? Do you know?
We did rip her yesterday, Judge. Let me look at the note. Morgan, did she want contact?
Guys, do we know if the complaining witness wants to have contact with Mr.
I
Barrett?
believe she does, Judge, yes.
I spoke with her yesterday.
You don't see a protective explanation. Okay. Mr. Barrett, I'm entering in a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Betty McDonald as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of 10828 Mesquite Drive in LaPorte.
He does live there and they all live together in that house, him, the defendant, his wife, and the complainant.
Okay. What do you do for a living, Mr. Barrett?
I'm disabled.
Would you like me to appoint your lawyer today?
Yes.
I will do that. I will have the lawyer speak to you about your living situation, and we'll see how we go forward with regard to the protective order and bond conditions with Ms. McDonald. Regardless, I don't want you to have any threatening or harassing behavior with her.
Yes, sir.
What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think it's threatening or harassing. It is what she perceives. So if I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It is, and it can land you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will have you, let me see if I have an application. I need you to fill out an application for an appointed lawyer for me. Fill it out. I will take a look at it to see whether you qualify. I assume you will, and then we'll have you speak to someone here momentarily. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, we'll issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yes.
All right?